Picture a city so choked by filth that the very air could make you gag. This was London, 1858, suffocating under what history would remember as the Great Stink. The Thames River was the lifeblood of London, winding its way through the heart of the city. But by the 19th century, this river had turned into a cesspool, a dumping ground for human waste, industrial byproducts, and more refuse than you care to imagine. Londoners had tolerated the smell for years, but then came the summer of 1858, one of the hottest on record. Under the unrelenting sun, the Thames began to fester. As the water level dropped, the sludge was exposed, and the stench it released became so unbearable, it could be smelled miles away. It was so potent that it reached the halls of Parliament itself. Lawmakers, unable to ignore the gagging smell, had to flee from their offices. In the newspapers, they began calling it the Great Stink, and for once, no one was exaggerating. The government was desperate. They soaked the curtains in chloride of lime, but it did little to mask the smell. London was paralyzed, and it was only a matter of time before they'd have a true health crisis on their hands. Enter Joseph Bazalgette, a visionary engineer with a daring plan. He believed the solution to London's stinking problem lay in a complete overhaul of the city's sewer system. Bazalgette's design was groundbreaking. His plan? To build over 1,000 miles of pipes, creating an underground labyrinth that would funnel waste away from the city. It was the largest public works project of its time, costing over £3 million, a massive investment for Victorian London. Thousands of men worked tirelessly to build Bazalgette's vision, braving the muck and foul air. They laid miles of brick-lined tunnels, which would carry the waste far downstream, where it could no longer plague the city. And, believe it or not, it worked. By the 1860s, the stench had lifted. Londoners could finally breathe again, and Bazalgette's system has served the city ever since. Over 150 years later, parts of it are still in use. The Great Stink was a dark chapter in London's history, but it pushed the city to modernize and brought about innovations that still protect millions today. So next time you walk along the Thames, take a deep breath and remember the engineer who helped make it possible. By saving London from the Great Stink. Thanks for tuning in to Forgotten and Freaky. If you enjoyed this tale of Victorian-era horrors, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more strange stories from the past.